Welcome to The Explainer. So let's jump right into a massive headache facing Southern California logistics executives today. If you're operating in the Inland Empire, you already know that overhead pressures are absolutely crushing profit margins. We're going to explore exactly how to solve this and truly maximize your warehouse return on investment. All right, let's dive in. I want you to challenge your own perspective for a second. Are you wasting the top half of your warehouse? Think about it. Is your facility just a static storage box, or is it a dynamic growth engine? It's crazy how many businesses are literally bleeding money simply because they refuse to rethink the space right above their heads. And this isn't just a theoretical problem, it's incredibly urgent. Inland Empire lease rates are at historic highs right now. If you're operating out in the Mira Loma and Ontario Ranch corridors, the days of just snatching up the empty lot next door, yeah, those are over. Traditional horizontal expansion is no longer just difficult, it's become a massive financial liability. The real estate costs are simply way too high to justify building outward anymore. To solve this, we're going to close this invisible efficiency gap, layer by layer. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the invisible efficiency gap, unlocking your 3D warehouse, the smart warehouse transition, seismic safety and compliance, and finally, your end-to-end logistics partner. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1. The invisible efficiency gap. Just because you have a massive physical footprint on a blueprint doesn't actually mean you have an efficient facility. You could have a giant building that operates like a cramped, congested closet. Seriously, so many facilities are paying top-dollar rent and utility costs for the total building volume, but they're only using the bottom 6 to 8 feet of space. That top half? It's just dead air. It generates massive lease costs but yields absolutely zero throughput. To fix this, we really need to re-educate ourselves around a game-changing metric, cubic velocity. Basically, this is how quickly and efficiently your business moves inventory through the total three-dimensional volume of your facility. We've got to totally shift our mindset away from just measuring flat square footage on the floor and move strictly to measuring 3D throughput speed. This shift in mindset completely changes your entire financial strategy. We have to ditch the outdated, painfully expensive strategy of traditional horizontal expansion. You know, the grueling lease negotiations and massive capital expenditures just to get a bigger footprint. Instead, the cost-effective reality is sophisticated vertical densification. By densifying vertically, you can literally double your usable area while leveraging the exact same foundation you're already paying for. Moving right along to Section 2. Unlocking your 3D warehouse. Okay, so to actually build out that vertical volume in the real world, your warehouse's structural skeletal system has to be matched specifically to what you're storing. For example, if you've got a high variety of SKUs, selective racking gives you 100% access to every single pallet. But if you need high-density storage for multiple pallets of the same exact product, pushback systems use nested carts and gravity to do the heavy lifting. And for those long, awkward items like piping or lumber, cantilever systems with arms anchored to a central column are exactly what you need. But hey, racking is really just the beginning. You can literally double your footprint using structural mezzanines, rack-supported platforms, and catwalks. Just think about what this means. By physically raising the floor, you create entirely new levels for picking, processing, and personnel access. You're maximizing the facility's clear height and finally putting all that dead air to work. Which brings us to Section 3, the smart warehouse transition. Now, when you increase your density this much, relying solely on manual labor becomes a massive bottleneck. You absolutely need high-speed tech to match your high-density space. But before you install a single physical robot, you need a digital brain. Enter the Warehouse Management System, or WMS. Think of this as your mission control. It's the essential digital operating system required to coordinate all that inventory movement and automation. Because without it, you've really just got a very tall, very expensive pile of chaos. And getting this right triggers an incredible evolution in retrieval speed. As you'll see, traditional racking is low density and relies on slow manual retrieval. But when we start integrating automated muscle, like modular vertical lift modules or automated storage and retrieval systems, we shift to maximum density and ultra-fast robotic goods-to-person retrieval. It seamlessly upgrades your manual labor into high-speed output. All right, on to Section 4, seismic safety and compliance. Here's the harsh reality. All those flashy robots, towering structural mezzanines, and high-speed retrieval systems, they are completely useless without a legal, engineered foundation. If you're operating out here in Southern California,
Rigorous seismic engineering is not just a polite suggestion, it's a critical liability shield and a strict legal requirement for high-pile storage permits. We really need to create some urgency here, guys. Failing to meet local seismic codes renders all that vertical space you just unlocked legally useless. The city simply will not let you use the rocks you bought.
So, how do we actually protect the inventory, avoid massive fines, and ensure life safety? Well, we have to clear 4 non-negotiable hurdles. First, facility layout design, to prevent congestion. Second, seismic engineering, securing that structural integrity for earthquake country. Third, emergency egress design, making sure all this new density never blocks a fire exit. And fourth, permit management. You literally have to clear these hurdles before a single rack is bolted down. I really want to share this core philosophy with you. Nothing dictates quality of performance as well as the equipment you use. And that applies to everything, from your forklifts right down to the skeletal racks holding your inventory. Investing in premium equipment is the only real way to guarantee both high-velocity performance and absolute legal compliance. And bringing in strategic brand partners is exactly how you create that perfect human-machine synergy. You've got Freezer providing the heavy-duty structural racking to withstand hardcore industrial demands, Boston Tech optimizing personnel productivity with their ergonomic workstations, Modula bringing those high-speed vertical lift modules, and Incord and Handle It providing the safety barriers and driver cages that make sure your inventory stays secure and, most importantly, your people stay safe. Finally, let's hit Section 5, your end-to-end logistics partner. Look, managing all of these complex layers at the same time, the engineering, the tech, the endless permits, the installations, it's an overwhelming burden for any in-house team. And this is exactly where SWWS Solutions steps in. They basically act as your single point of accountability. From custom facility design and expert seismic engineering, right through to seamless automation integration and complete equipment installation, they take on that massive engineering and administrative burden so logistics executives can actually focus on running their business instead of babysitting construction projects. Okay, let's wrap this explainer up. If you're ready to transform that dead air into a real growth engine, give SWWS Solutions a call at 951-360-7087. Visit WSWarehousesolutions.com or just look up their Mira Loma hub on their Google business profile. I want to leave you with one final thought today. The next time you're walking your warehouse floor, just stop and look up at the ceiling. Why on earth are you paying for air you aren't even using? Stop wasting your space and start building up. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.